Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool Western Electric 3-slot payphone, and this is Jim's telephone from Texas. And so Jim's got a note here, and he says, phone was working, took apart, repainted, and restored. All wires tagged and replaced. Have tried various wiring diagrams available online. Cannot break dial tone. Well, I don't see that the telephone ever worked. It may have at some point in time in its life, but the way it's wired is not right. And there's a couple of other issues, and we're going to get into them. So it couldn't have properly, totally been working right. And I'll show you why. First, we're going to go into the vault, and we're going to show you something that has been done there. And what's cool about this telephone is he has his vault door and key and his body key. Now, what I found inside the vault was a bell just hanging here. And this bell is no good. I'm not a big fan of this type of bell. Western Electric built a lot of very good equipment. This bell was questionable. I never cared for this type of bell, and I pretty much pitch them whenever I see them. Now, some phones, they are in originally, so we have to replace them, but this bell was a poor design, and I'm just no fan of that bell. This bell here, though, is no good. It's shot. So that never did work. Plus there's no bell circuit for it. So the bell could have never rang in this telephone. There's just no bell circuit unless when I'm seeing some of it got left out. The other issue is we don't do this kind of stuff here at this shop. There's a jack that's installed in the vault. And that's kind of a no-no too. We don't do that. And so we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to put a modular port in the back of the body, but I have to talk to Jim before we can do that. There's no sense in leaving a modular jack inside the vault. And we don't install the bell there either. So we'll have to talk to him about that. So let's go ahead and pull the body off. And I'll flip that around and kind of give you a look at that. His coin validator is in the unit, and there's a bunch of wires that have numbers, and so like he said, he tagged and marked a lot of things. And this is what we have on the inside. Now, just from doing this for years and years and years and having experience at it, I can tell the telephone's wired wrong. So whether the wires were tagged and marked or whatever, it really wouldn't make much difference. It's totally wrong, and that has to be straightened out. There is no bell circuit here, so the bell doesn't look like it was ever configured. And so that has to be finished off also. We're going to have to go through the rotary, and I'm going to spin this around a little bit. The rotary looks like it has a good return on it, but that still has to be gone through. Since it's in the shop, we're going to have to take a look at it. Now, it has a really nice informational card on it. So, you know, there has been some work done on it, and it's a very nice telephone. It's a beautiful telephone. But we just need to get it straightened out. Where we install a modular port is in this knockout here. And that way you can simply walk up to the back of the phone and plug any modular line cord that you want into the telephone, any length, any color. Another issue is there's really not enough room to pull a modular plug through. I guess you could find a place to plug your jack in, but we can get rid of this. There's no need for this. And so it's kind of like a little bit of a conversion kind of gone bad a little bit. So we're going to get Jim straightened out on this telephone. Now I want to show you, we can do a little test here, and I'll show you. If you watch the analyzer, I have a pair of leads here, and I want to make sure that they're connected here. We're going to do a little test here on Jim's bell. Just want to get everything straightened out and set up. Okay, this is a bell of ours at the shop. As you can see, it's ringing. Every time you see a ring cycle go by, we'll let it go one more time. Pull the lead off. I'm going to let the analyzer continue to go by ring cycles. Now, this is what came in with Jim's telephone. And some bells have multiple leads on them, but there's only two here. And so I'm going to clip onto that side of the bell, and then I'm going to clip onto this side of the bell. And as you see, there's nothing. So what we can do here is I'll pull this lead off, put this bell in place, and I'll let that go one more time. We'll stop the ring cycle. So we know that this bell has either gone bad or at some point, but it is no longer any good. And so we're not going to be using this bell. And probably it was never hooked into this telephone, and if it was, it's missing some of the items that would create the bell circuit. So we know that this bell probably never was installed in this telephone properly. If everything is like it was, it could not have worked with a bell because there's just not enough circuitry. So anyway, we're going to do some more checking into this telephone and go through it and get it wired properly. We need to talk to Jim about getting a modular port installed in the body here in the knockout of the backboard, and reinstalling another bell and bell circuit that works, and then repair the wiring and make sure that it's wired properly. Go through the rotary and make sure the rotary is racking off properly and clean it and adjust it. We also have to go through the coin validator and make sure that the coins are dropping through properly, and then the telephone will be repaired. But it's in very good condition, and there has been some work done to it, so it's a really nice telephone. And you know, once this is finished up, Jim's going to have a really nice telephone here, and it's going to be a keeper. So we're going to take a short break from the video, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, we're back now, and we're finished up with the telephone. And if you look at the backboard here, you'll see the modular port that we've installed. So all Jim has to basically do now is walk up to the telephone and plug it right in. It's a very simple and clean connection. This has got a backboard, so basically not only does he have the back of the telephone here, he has a actual backboard. And I do believe that Jim's putting this in a telephone booth, but it's a 233G, and it's in very good condition. Another situation that we took care of was we put a weight for dial tone a little more to the period of this telephone, and that's the center dial card. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and spin the telephone around, and we'll show you the inside here real quick and how that turned out. We have everything finished up, and I'll give you a little look at the inside. Now it's all cleaned up, and that's basically finished up, and it's a little cleaner situation now with everything in working condition. So we'll go ahead and set the video down, and I want to put the body on the telephone now. And Jim has both keys and locks, so that was a really cool situation, because a lot of times what happens is these telephones come in and they don't have any keys or locks, or some of it's missing. So now what we can do is go ahead and do some final checks. I want to go ahead and ring the telephone first. We'll let that go a few times since it didn't have a bell at all. The bell that was in it was no good, so I'll let it go one more time. I'm going to give you some dial tone. And if you watch the analyzer here, what we're going to do is we're going to walk through our numbers. I'm going to end in a 2, and now I want to go ahead and transmit into the handset. So if you watch this red light on the analyzer, every time that red light lights, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. So we know that the telephone has transmit, receive, it's dialing out, and the bell rings. What we can do now is I'm going to go ahead and take some change, and we're going to go ahead and start putting it into the unit. And we're going to start with a nickel, and that's going to ring the bell once. Dimes will ring the bell twice. I'll put another dime in, and that's going to fall down into the vault area. I'm going to put a quarter in. That'll be a gong. Do another quarter. We'll do a dime. And if a dime gets hung up like that ever, you can just simply put another one in. It'll fall down. We'll put a nickel. Another nickel. We'll do a dime. Another dime. And we got 2 quarters left. And so we know that the money is dropping through. Now, the coin validator, we had to go through that, but to make sure everything was dropping through. Now, you know, every once in a while you'll probably have a problem. It is a older piece of equipment, but for the most part it works pretty good, and I don't see that there will be a big problem. But anyway, now what we want to do is we want to move the telephone line over to a regular telephone line. Give you some dial tone. And I want to call, say, like a time and temp number.
Good morning. Shop online anytime at Offenberg.com. A short drive to great value. Today is Wednesday, July 11th. The time is 2:29. Current temperature 83 degrees. Now the Belleville area weather forecast. Mostly clear tonight, lows in the mid-60s. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, a high in the low 90s.
Okay. Now we can call one other number. Give you some dial tone. We'll call my number, and it'll be busy. Okay. We'll call dial tone. We'll call one other number. We don't need anything from there.
Thank you for calling Walmart.
Okay, so we know that this telephone is in working condition now, and it's a really nice telephone. Jim's got a really good-looking telephone. He's done some work on it. It's got a nice informational card. He's got a wait for dial tone card now in a center dial, and he's had his keys and locks that he sent in with it, so that's a plus. And so he's going to go ahead, and I think he's got a telephone booth, if I'm not mistaken, that he's going to put this in. But it's really going to be a neat situation no matter what it is, whether it gets hung on the wall or goes in a telephone booth. It's just a really cool telephone, and it's in very good condition. And so he's going to enjoy this telephone, I'm sure, when he gets it installed. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. This is Jim's telephone from Texas. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.